Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Oddities
Woo!
here on D-Fourtress, Channel 5.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
It's like, it's
D-
not even the same voice tone. I'm not
It's
going,
not.
it's
No.
D-Fourtress. That's like it just doesn't.
No, the one that you did sounded more like Monster Truck Rally. That's what that
This,
sounded like.
this Wednesday. Watch as a bunch of nerds sit on Zoom and play pretend together. Hardcore.
Everything's John Cena with you, Andrew. Come on. That's the new
Yeah.
material.
Nah.
You're one
He's
trick
funny.
pony.
I'm a one trick pony.
All right. So before we get into it, couple announcements. First one is I have recently received a paycheck from my day job, which means I now have cheese. I've got Dubliner
Yes.
and Gruyere. So that's the first announcement. Andrew, what other announcements do you
Nice.
have?
I mean, not as exciting as cheese, but we got our brand new printer in. I gave up on the old one and just decided to get a really nice new printer. So, started printing shirts again. You can This one does not come with the void, I'm sorry. But we got just a couple examples here of what they look like. Just some fun stuff. A cutesy little Artivon from the Paragon stream. And little ghost one, and a little badger one, and a Rakos one right there. But anyways, basically, we can now go full-fledged back into making orders again. So I've already gone in, and after having to take a break for a while, I've been working on some really fun side projects now that I actually have the printer working. So one of those side projects I'm really excited about, but I'm gonna wait until I got everything in there rather than like a little bit at a time. I'm just gonna throw it in everybody's faces.
That's what
But
we call assault.
but at least they'll enjoy it.
That's what we call a kink. Just kidding.
Yeah, no, things like that, but then also just like a little sneak peek too. Going to be doing some cheaper coasters because we have the slate coasters already in there. Those we can already make, but we'll be making some little cork ones as well. Just here's like a little example. But
So cute.
so I'll be adding all of those onto the store and some other fun projects that you guys will see. But yeah, so check out the website, dfortress.com. And if you are a Paragon tier Patreon, then you get a permanent discount off of everything in the store. But yeah, that's all I got for announcements today.
All right, and then one other thing before I we got into it, just because they're on two separate things and a bit harder to keep track of, but I'm gonna do it right now because I can literally see it right there. Is I want to do a quick shout out to not non Patreon, but to a Twitch subscriber, Vampy Unicorn, our first ever Twitch subscriber, and has been subscribed for 9 months. So just want to do a shout out to them. It feels cool having a consistent fan.
Coming close
Dude,
to a year.
Yeah.
right? The the fact that
This
Vampy joined on the episode that Eric left too. I remember chatting with Vampy. It was the one that we pre-recorded for New Year's.
Yep.
And Vampy's like, "Oh, this is good. I'm gonna come back. I'm going to a party, but I'll be back. I'm gonna finish this."
Yep. Salute. At this point, can we count Vampy as one of the investors?
Right.
One of the
Them
initial
D4
investors.
fan, them D4 fan, and Brennan.
Yes. Sounds like the funniest D&D party. We've got D4 fan, Vampy Unicorn, and Brennan. It's like Kilrog the Destroyer and his partner in crime, Steve.
He's a level 4 commoner.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much everything. So let's go ahead and get into it and roll that intro. So, last we left off, the Oddities had found that the atmosphere of the city didn't seem to change with the destruction of the disaster brew. But they decided to go and celebrate nonetheless, and a job opportunity appeared. However, said opportunity would force Badger to temporarily leave the party, but could possibly further their investigation into these journals and the adventurer that left them behind, leading him out west to the Red Pine Pass, near the border, or on the border with Atheus, to some form of dungeon or structure made by an expert stonemason. And so, thinking of the possible magic items, even just to keep as insurance if they lose their bet against the Singing Willows, the party agreed to relinquish Badger from the party to have him go, as he was unceremoniously dragged off by the gnome with the fun name. Can anybody remember
Nelly.
his full name?
Nelly. I don't remember his last name. I remember Nelly.
Yeah, I don't remember his last name.
I can't find it in my notes. It's like Nelly Zentz the Thummum or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't even bother trying to figure out the last name.
I'm not even.
You're just Nelly. I don't think Reikos would even
I
bother.
literally-
He's just like, it's just
No,
Nelly.
Xanthemum, I think, or
Yeah, something like that. I literally just made a bunch of.
Chrysanthemum.
I literally just made a bunch of random noises in my mouth on the spot.
Everybody else struggled, and then Ghost is like, yeah, I can do that. But me as a person, I can't.
And so after resting at the manor that was left to the manor owned by Deramos,
And by association, me.
you were able to learn, and Belden, the new member of the Oddities, realizing just the amount of crap that he might have just gotten himself into, had learned that the current owner of Crimson Crown Industries is none other than the brother of Ghost, who, in somewhat unclear as of now terms, has given into corruption just as their parents had before. As during the conversation, Reikos would also probably be recalling that though it is not public knowledge, his source, Siva's sources had indicated that the Crimson Crown had helped arm the Crimson Bloods, the organization that tried to summon the dragon god Tiamat into the material plane to conquer the world of Auroran. Stopped by
Forgot about that.
Yeah, stopped by a party of adventurers 10 years ago.
I have no recollection of those events. We definitely didn't do a 2.5-year home campaign for those.
Totally not.
And so they managed to keep but after learning that and learning a little more about Ghost, you rested within the comfortable manor and then decided to go and report to the mayor, where it seemed that Mayor Quintus had a bit of an interaction on his own while you were out, as he was assaulted by one Isabel Quintus, who his tracking mages have, or his diviners, is what they are called, divination wizards, have confirmed that she has escaped the city. But the good news of that is, with the killer now known to the city, neighbors are no longer suspects. And it was in the middle of this announcement that within the courtyard of City Hall, a rhyme hulk appeared, echoing a call to arms, saying that calling for whoever destroyed the disaster brew and thanking them for freeing his mind of the madness that the disaster brew had caused, but that his cousins, the other elementals, were not so fortunate, as they have lesser minds than he. And he asked that you prove yourself, as a fight broke out, as earth elementals, myrmidons, came from the ground and attacked. And what seemed like a terrifying bout devolved into complete and utter chaos, Rakos calling in the favor from Trixie the Pixie to polymorph his new injured companion into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That was so awesome.
And what seemed like a horrifying assault became a rallying cry for the people of Eritrude to rally against. And as the combat settled, the polymorph was no longer being concentrated on. The courtyard erupted into cheers.
I like to think as soon as he turned into a T-Rex, you could just hear Freebird playing in the distance.
Yep. Oh, that'd be so dope.
See, being with the crazy party comes with its perks.
And so the cheers ring out, and then as the battle fell over the cheering, the Rhyme Hulk had said that the seals cannot be broken, and this town has earned his protection. And so, a short celebration takes place before the crowd begins to disperse to go spread the word of what just happened through the city. And in this small crowd, you could feel the atmosphere change. And you get the sense that come nightfall, the whole city will have heard of this and know that there is hope for the City of Troubles. And so, once the crowd is dispersed and you are actually able to be left alone, some people going in and certain, first responders coming in, their training kicking in, delivering first aid, and
I don't
things
look
like
good.
that. And so not so much healed, but your wounds are cleaned, bandaged, and everything. And so with a good rest, you will be tip top shape.
We did it, Patrick.
And-
we saved the city.
And during this thing, the Rhyme Hulk has kind of gone and taken a seat on the ground, leaning his back against the building, his head leaning back one of the second story windows. And people have been kind of coming up to him kind of in awe, and he seems to be kind of like friendly with them, and he is very careful with being gentle, especially when like a kid comes up to him and he's just like waving, kind of just like going, and he seems to be actually who would probably be I would say somebody make an insight check for me.
I will.
There's one of us.
Any of you.
Oh, 22.
Whoever would be interested in seeing what's going on with him.
Ghost.
Oh, yeah, I
He's
definitely
a
would
giant,
be interested.
He's
Yeah.
a giant guy.
17.
60.
Okay. All of you would see this. He is taking deep breaths. Each breath, cold steam kind of going out, but he looks up and it looks like he is staring at the sky like someone would look at an old friend they hadn't seen in a very long time.
Oh, that's so sad.
And
I'm going, aw, Ghost is going, huh?
I'll do with that in a bit.
yeah. And then everybody's kind of going after a bit. Ray goes, "You're probably looking the most healthy out of everybody." So I think he'd approach you.
Well, not yet. I need to do something first.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to grab Belden and lift him up. Oh, you were amazing! Oh, sorry. It puts him back down.
Yeah.
Never pick up a dwarf.
I'm still bloody.
Yeah. All right, sorry. Oh my. You turned into a giant lizard. Did you see that? Do you remember anything?
Oh, I remember all of it. I remember eating those rocks too. That's strange.
You bit right through him. It was quite impressive.
At the time,
Ghost,
they were quite
did you see him?
Yep.
Oh, that was so exciting.
We'll have to do that again.
I was as big as you. Thanks to the mayor. Oh, that was so exciting. Did you see the one that I knocked out of your mouth?
Yeah, that was a pretty epic finish.
I'm just glad I didn't knock out any of your teeth. If I broke your teeth when you were a lizard, would that translate to... I don't know. Also, Trixie, are you around?
And it goes and she like pokes out of your mane. Oh, yeah, it's fucking cold out there. It's nice and cozy in here.
Well, you can stay as long as you like. You are a welcome member of the Oddities. That was amazing.
Are you insulting me?
No,
Insulting, that was amazing.
that was amazing.
I've never had a mortal compliment me before. Although, I mean, I've also never really helped anyone before.
Well,
Can't
we
be
appreciate
related.
it. No, that was quite impressive. You said that you would help, and I was not expecting a giant lizard.
I would have been done for if it weren't for you.
I'm pretty sure I would have, and Ghost probably as well.
Would
And like in that moment, he realizes, oh, you guys look terrible. Are you all right? Looking at Ghost.
I'm fine.
All right. I believe you, I guess.
It's like thinly veiled pain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just like one of those. There's healers
Yeah,
around.
15 out of 48 isn't good.
and you'd hear some of the guard that would be approaching. You'd hear Adelar go, "One of you go off, find us a cleric. We've got some injured here." "Yes, sir." And they go, and you see Adelar approach. His broken and chipped dagger broke halfway down the blade when he killed that elemental. "Well, I think it's safe to say that thanks to you, I have the next election in the bag." And he tosses it to the side.
You're welcome.
And it's thanks to you I became as large as a building. So I guess we're even.
I picked up some magic in my studies. But... well, what I was saying beforehand still stands. Whatever business you have within the city, I'll make sure that if required, there are legal loopholes to whatever it is you have to get done.
That's convenient yet oddly specific. Who told you?
You told me that you were here to investigate Crimson Crown.
Oh yes, that's right. I did tell you that part. Okay, yes.
You did.
Right. Sorry, the adrenaline is really getting to me.
Yeah, you did take some pretty nasty hits. Well,
It might be a mild concussion as well.
and given the ominous warnings that our new friend over there had said, Corodine will have no choice but to send reinforcements. And so, these mercenaries won't be taking advantage of my city's plight for much longer. Though, if people still wish to hire them themselves, that is within their right. I just hate having to rely on them for general safety. But you lot are quite the exception. And you, I did not meet you before. What was your name? And he looks to Belden.
Name's Belden Dustsparrow.
Dust Sparrow.
Abigail brought me in after I collected one of the journals for her.
Oh, he's not a part of this.
Oh.
He would kind of be like hush hush to Belden.
And Adelar's like, I have way too many things to worry about than to care about whatever mystery you're solving. But with your help, my resources are now yours, so. But I'm going to be sending word to Corodine again. I think the word Tarask will urge Corodine into sending us some reinforcements. Not that I like the thought of that thing being so close, but we'll have to do some research, but any advantage I can get, I will take. I will begin my work immediately.
Sounds good.
I'll give you a nod.
I'm going to sit down. She'll like slowly get to the ground. Lower to the
Wince
ground.
over. I could sit with you.
Do whatever you want.
got any strong drink around here? Take,
I'm sure
take
there's-
the edge off the pain.
Oh, I have some.
Yes,
of my
he does
own.
have a point.
She'll take out her flask and take a swig.
Medicine.
Best kind.
As he's walking away, Adelar would shout over his shoulder, my favorite spot to unwind around here is the what was it called? The Misty Shore Tavern. It's near the docks. They get imported ales and wines from North Peak and Snowdrift, and occasionally imports all the way from the Abdalian Federation down in Alashkar.
We should go.
Some exotic.
Just like, I want to go.
Be wary, it's the
they're-
most expensive place in town.
I still think we should go.
Oh, and one other thing. Mr. Redrum. And he looks to his bodyguard, who's kind of just been silently standing vigil, just in a dutiful pose. Sir. Go fetch them something from the city armory for me. You know which one I'm talking about. Yes, sir. And he says, I always help, Adelar goes on, I always help my friends. And he looks at Ghost. I get the sneaking suspicion if I don't show you proper gratitude, there will be consequences.
You know all too well.
Right. Also, tell Deramos he owes me a drink.
I will. And I'll hold them to it.
We both know the consequences if he refuses. And he turns and walks away.
I kind of lead into Belden. Deramos is the boyfriend.
I don't think I want to mess with him.
I want to meet him. Ghost holds him in high regard, and that means he's got to be terrifying.
Yeah, that's about my line of thought.
She just looks up at them just like, mm-hmm.
You know, if there's one thing I might say, and not just talking about this exact moment and what we just did, but leaving Chlorodyne, fighting, going to the old fortress, fighting the Yeti, fighting bandits. It's almost like my childhood stories are coming to life. You know, you hear of Yetis in the childhood stories. You hear of the ancient Tarask that would annihilate the world. Massive elementals that would level towns. Bounty hunters. All the different things. Just childhood stories. And man, I wish I would have started this sooner. This is fun.
Think about it.
Tanarok was not lying.
Think about it. You'll also become those children's stories.
The guy
Oh, yeah?
sits up.
I have found a fair
The
bit more
stories
excitement.
of Rakos Ironhoof.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of has a nice ring to it.
The stories of Ghost. See, now that one sounds more interesting, I think.
I think it would be
Belden
the
Dustbarrow.
Ghost. Because, Ghost isn't my real name.
It's true. Either way, it has a nice ring to it as well. Lux Lunacy. Pax Eterna. Or just more simple. The stories of the Oddities. Oh, and we can't forget little Trixie here.
Or Ivor.
Or Ivor.
Ivor's going, and he's just like, Ivor's going. He's got like a crowd of people. You look over. He's got like a crowd of people. He's in full imp form, and he's just like, and so there I was, and the creature came at me, and I stared it down, and he's like making himself to be the big bad, without my minions at my side.
I just remember his stinger like pinging off of the rock.
King, king, king.
Little chips.
Yeah. Oh,
Those
man.
chips were helpful, at least.
But didn't he kill one of them? Like with
I
a
don't
big one?
remember.
Killed one.
I don't think he killed it.
No, it was he was chipping.
It was the dagger that killed
yeah,
it.
it was
Yeah.
the dagger. It's the same damage
Yeah.
die.
Yeah. Ivor and I don't do killing blows. I've noticed we do we weaken them
The
for
chip
you guys.
damage.
Yeah, we chip them away, you guys.
In
You
this
guys
case,
get 'em.
literally, you were chipping them away.
Though for a lot of the time I wasn't, because I couldn't dang hit anything.
No, their AC was so high. It really
I
was.
know. My automatic 17 was just shy.
But,
so sad.
you know, Belden, obviously we are a strange bunch, but it has its perks, may I say.
We'll say, being a giant lizard was a lot of fun.
It was intimidating.
It was fun to watch.
Could you imagine if we both were giant like that and we rode into battle like that?
That's what I was thinking. Oh my, I didn't want to impose that idea. You know, it's kind of strange to ride your friend. What am I talking about? Badger rides me all the time. Okay, next time it happens, I want to ride it. I mean, how many people get to say they get a ride on? You know what? We could do it this way. I could ride on Belden, and then Ghost, you could ride on your giant snake.
I could do that.
Stories that would be told.
So, as after a few minutes, you see Mr. Redrim appear with a metal crate carried on one shoulder, and he comes up, slams it down next to you guys on the ground, and you hear something clanging inside. Sad to see it go, but you've earned it. Have fun fighting over who gets it. And he pats the crate.
Probably not me.
All right, now we're all adults. We're all adults here. As I'm reaching for it. We're all adults.
Just open it already. We can figure it out after.
All right, let's see what's
I'll just
inside.
step forward, open up the crate.
It is enchanted armor. It is splint mail armor,
Oh.
which is heavy armor.
Nice.
I'm
Belden,
out.
do you have the I think you should be able to ritual cast identify.
I don't think he has it prepared though, does he?
Let me look.
Because ritual ones you don't have to prepare. Because I'm pretty sure artificers are ritual casters.
Yeah.
They are ritual casters.
Let me look it.
So yeah.
Identify.
Yep, if you know the spell Identify, you can take 10 minutes to cast it without it being prepared.
Okay, so you don't have to have those prepared to ritual cast?
That's how ritual casting works, really.
Okay.
Because you're taking
I've
10
never
minutes
actually-
you're taking 10 minutes to do it anyway.
Right,
so.
I thought you still had to have it prepared, though.
I think you do, but as a DM, I think that's dumb, so.
Alright, yeah, I've got Identify.
Okay.
She sees that it's heavy armor and she's like, I'm out.
I've got
All yours.
Identify, and then I've also, like, I've got pretty high, like, Arcana to, like, recall lore about spells and magic items and whatnot.
But the Identify literally just gives you the full description of it, basically. Okay, so you take the time to identify it. This is Armor of Weightlessness, which in the Splint Armor version. Its armor class is 17, and despite its name, does weigh 60 pounds. And this armor...
It's not weightless.
This armor has 5 charges. While you wear it, you can use a bonus action to expend 1 or more charges to cast one of the following spells from the armor, targeting yourself. Jump for 1 charge, or levitate for 2 charges. This armor regains 1d4 plus 1 expanded charges daily at dawn.
Fancy.
Interesting.
I love how everything but your cat's head is in focus. Oh, there it goes. There's your homunculus.
Yeah.
And what does it look like?
Could I have my homunculus just be like a little clay cat?
You can make it look like whatever you want to look like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just have a little clay cat.
Just on his head.
Imagine the gem is like right on its like forehead or
So
something.
I would say what this armor looks like is it almost looks like a heavy leather coat. With the kind of silvery, it's not silver, but silvery colored metal splints in segments at the vital points of protection.
Okay.
Fancy.
And as it is magical, it will, when you attune to it, it will shape to you.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, and so I imagine you relay what it does.
Yeah. I'll share that with you guys, of course.
No, Gary, you said 1 or more to cast it. Like, what you can expend more than 1. What happens if you expend multiple for jump?
You just don't. It's jump costs 1 charge and levitate costs 2 charge. Requires 2 charges.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay,
you can cast
I missed the
it.
2
You can
charges.
cast it on yourself as a bonus action.
Nice. Okay.
And you can only cast it on yourself. Now, remember that levitate is not fly. You don't gain a fly speed. If you're levitating, you're just stuck in that spot in the air unless something else moves you.
I mean,
Right.
Can you cast levitate while moving and keep the momentum?
As it is written, I don't believe so.
Darn.
But if you are in a ranged position and you just like, I'm gonna lift up off the floor, I'm just gonna shoot from up above.
Yep.
That's a valid option.
Yep.
Alright.
Although it sounds interesting, I think I'm inclined to make my own armor. Do you want to use it, Belden?
Does seem like a nice upgrade. Is there anything else in the crate?
Nope, just that set of armor.
I mean, if you guys don't mind.
Consider it a gift.
Alright. I'll take that armor.
Barely
Okay.
been with us a couple days. He got a major lore dump and also armor. New
And became a
armor.
T-Rex.
Go ahead
Became a
and
T-Rex.
add. Go ahead and add armor of weightlessness splint to your inventory.
Repertoire.
And then takes an action to attune it, but you'll need to take a rest before you can turn it into your arcane armor.
Armor of weightlessness splint. Okay.
Also, something that I just realized. Technically speaking, we did take care of all 3 of those jobs on the job board. We solved the murders. We stopped the elemental attacks. And we found the missing person. They happen to be related, but we know technically she's still gone, but it's a different thing now. So
We could
maybe
do
it
it
still
together.
counts as done. Yeah.
Collect.
So I say we before we leave, we should definitely go hit the captain and see if we can make good on those offers.
And go to that inn.
The end, and also, it would be a shame if we didn't have a conversation with that one, pointing over to the ice giant.
Right.
Question for you, Gavin.
Yes.
So, the runes and everything, I have the rune carver background, and so it allows me to basically, I just added on to the class, but it's like basically the same thing. There's no specific rules against it, but DM discretion. Would I be able to give over the piece of armor that has the background rune on it to allow someone else to use the spell, or would I only have access to it because it's something I'm proficient
I would
in?
say just given the nature of how your abilities are working, I would say only you would be able to use it.
That's fair. I just figured I'd ask. Okay, cool. Never mind then with that.
All plans ruined.
Right? No, I was just gonna see if I could give Belden the comprehend languages so he can at least understand.
Right.
Oh well. Well,
Yeah, I could not understand the giant.
Well, Ghost can be a translator. Because she knows giant too.
you need some more time to rest, Ghost, or should we head over? I think it'd be fun to head over together.
I can get up and sit somewhere else.
Well, let's move 40 feet that way to go talk to the giant.
Exactly, that's somewhere else. Let's go.
He'd get up and he'd hold out his hand to help you up.
And she'll like reach up with her arm, just kind of holding her side with her other arm, just like gently, gently.
Make our way over to the ice giant.
Yep.
Alright. So as he goes, he just seems to be taking a breather, leaning against it. Ah. And this time he's speaking in somewhat broken common, so you can't understand him, Building.
Yay!
The warriors come to speak after battle. You fight well. Even you, squishy one. And he looks at Ghost.
Thanks.
As do you.
Yeah, you weren't half bad yourself.
I have always fought.
I, 'Cause- 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 'cause-
So, have you always been here in Eritrude?
So that is what this place is. I was here before the city. Back when this was still wildlands.
Have you been below all this time?
In a manner of speaking, yes. I slept, and then the madness overtook me. I sensed it. I have always fought the madness of the disaster, but that brew, I could sense it, I could feel it, tipped me over the edge.
Well, you mentioned a seal keeping in a Tarashk. That's under the city?
Give or take.
Who put it there in the first place?
Who do you think causes all problems in this place? In Auroran? Some wizard. Monsters beset the region, and so they sought to make a weapon of their own. They took an egg, infused it with elements, and thought them worthy of controlling it. But no. It still give in to its baser instincts. So, my siblings and I abandoned our mortal forms and fused with that of the elements. And with the help of Rashen, we sealed it away. I stayed while my siblings went to travel with Rashen.
And who is that?
A knowing little bard. Considered himself adventurer, great hero. Ha! Only killed dragons in single digits when we met.
Yeah, that's not impressive.
Exactly. You are like-minded. He full of himself.
Yep, not impressive at all.
Always loved solving puzzles. And making them himself.
Gonna lean over and whisper to Ghost, how many dragons have you guys killed?
Did,
Hopefully
Conversation for
quiet enough
another time.
that the giant doesn't hear
It's
us.
just like, that's a conversation for another time.
I mean, just
did
even
your
more,
companion have a knack for leaving behind journals with these puzzles?
Ah. So I see his reputation precedes him. Pretentious little prick.
And like go back and like look at you guys, just like white eyebrow.
Rashen had a knack for making people follow him into crazy, dangerous situations. Hence the reason my siblings left with him. To go find adventure or something. I stayed here because it is responsible thing to do. You don't leave seal of giant city-destroying monster unattended. But no, they said, oh, it should hold for thousands of years. Great. Well, that time is up now. And they are nowhere to be found. irresponsible idiots.
Spoken like a true brother.
Roshen, right? Roshen. What?
Russian, yes.
And what race was he? Was he
Little.
human? So you were always a giant, but you just became elemental, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
There are those of giant lineage. Each giant is somehow infused with elements. Some lean closer to the elements, and we gave in all the way. Gave up our material form for elemental. This normally has some pros, some cons. It is personal preference, but incredibly hard to do. Took several decades of preparation. Nigh impossible when not born like this. Especially when, like my siblings, you choose elements that you are not naturally attuned to. We were frost giants. And it was hardest for my sister Sima, who attuned herself to fire.
It is a difficult element to obtain and maintain.
It fits so, cause she is hothead.
Hmm.
And what was your name again?
Temis.
It's just writing a lot of notes here.
I do not know where siblings are, but you find Rashen, you find siblings. You send them here, you berate them for being stupid. Or, if they are dead, you send their hearts here, and I use their energy to realign Seal. If Seal breaks, Taras can be killed, but it take long time, and many will die in process.
And how many siblings do you have?
There are 6 of us.
Hmm.
There is me. And then there is Veld, who took on the form of mud because he draw last straw.
Build,
There is Rush.
Mud, Sema, Fire,
There is Rush.
Embers.
Yeah, I'll let you. You're typing it out loud and just talking over me.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm ready.
There is Rush, who take form of dust. There is Eshil,
Actually,
who take form of mist. And Himveld, who take form of lightning.
and do you have any inclination of where they might be?
No idea.
But you said the others all went with Rashen, so Rashan or whatever.
Yes. You find Russian, you find siblings.
Do you know where Russian might have gone?
No idea.
And
Mystery.
you kind of like lean over and like whisper, I think that's where the journals are leading.
Basically, if we find him, we find them, and if we find the journals, we find him.
I think Russian is likely long dead, but whatever he was leading to is likely left behind.
Right. Or we find his corpse. No.
Hopefully with lots of money.
Russian was obsessed with history, particularly in Precursor.
Yes, the journals he left behind were all written in this weird cryptic text of Precursor. Of the Precursor language. That's what Jedediah said, right?
Nope, not even close.
Alright.
It's written in almost every single known language in a code and cipher.
Okay.
I can
Java
read, but I
Macedonia.
can't decipher.
Yeah. So you know you can.
Okay.
The thing I
yeah.
hate.
It is not written in Precursor.
No, literally
Okay, cool.
nothing is written in Precursor other than Precursor stuff.
Okay, cool. So yes, I'm pretty sure he wrote in Precursor.
But
Stick
he
with
probably made that claim once or twice. Even cleared Precursor ruins at some point.
There's been a couple of those unveiled in the past couple of years. Heard stories about it.
Only the most foolish or the most talented go into there.
Give us a couple of months and then we'll be there. And he kind of winks.
But my chains of ice will keep the Tarask asleep for now. I still have maybe better part of year before the Tarask has a chance to break chains.
If he's been down there for 1,000 years, one more year does not seem very long.
Good point. But I mean, think about it. We've uncovered a journal. You've uncovered a journal. We've uncovered several journals here in a relatively short time. Let's just hope there's not hundreds more and only maybe a dozen more.
Hopefully, maybe just one more.
I doubt it.
Oh, hey, look! I found it. And credits.
If only it were so easy. Russian made many a friend. Many trusted confidants that he gave tasks to. So, following his trail may be more difficult than I thought. But, good rule of thumb. You go where only stupid people who want to die go. Then you'll probably follow in his footsteps.
We're halfway there.
Rhaegar just kind of chuckles. Speaking of which, eventually we should head back and go kill that vampire.
Or hear her out.
But we'll have to wait until we at least have Badger back.
Definitely. He'd be heartbroken if we didn't do it with him.
You have convinced me to stay and open it in the moment.
I'm gonna ask around. Well, these do you have any clues or ways to point us forward towards any of these confidants that Rushan had?
No. Too many, too varied.
Doesn't help that you've been underground for thousands of years. Must be nice to see the sky again.
That it is. Not the same sky, but a good one. Lot more little people now.
It happens.
I can sense it. My kin no longer roam this land. At least, not in the way they used to.
Remnants of them do remain, though, and I would point to the armor on my chest.
Ha! You're right. Like gifted toddler.
That's what happens when you pass it from generation to generation.
Then you... Seeing this brings me peace.
You probably walked with some of my ancestors.
Or stepped on them.
Yes.
Well... And he kind of goes and gets up with a grunt. Ugh. I sense an elemental disturbance to the north. I will deal with it so that these people can recover. And he looks down. Little ones. You remind me of Roshan himself. That is not a compliment. That is a warning. Roshan was a good man. But wherever he went, there was evil. Some he could stop, some he could not. And knowing him, that got him killed. You are like fire. Useful. And you can bring warmth. But be careful that it does not burn you. And
Thank you for your warning.
And he stands up straight, turns, and begins walking to the north, leaving behind the small clumps of ice on the road as he goes. And you see he's like going and having to be careful where he steps. trying not to break any buildings or trip over anything or step on anybody.
People probably freaking out as he gets closer to the edge of city and they don't know what's going on. Those were some interesting words at the end. Well, if I'm going to be a fire, I want to burn as much as possible before I'm eventually snuffed out.
That's the spirit. I want to burn things. We should probably go do something else.
How about a drink?
Drink sounds
Perfect.
sounds mighty fine.
Okay.
What was that place that he was speaking of? Just kind of says casually as we're walking away.
Down by the docks, I believe.
Right.
Did we need to talk to a shipwright or something down that way, anyways?
Yes, but let's get a drink first.
Fine, if it's on our way.
All right. So, as you go, you head to the eastern part of the city, to the docks, and already word is starting to spread. The atmosphere, the dark cloud that seemed to hang over this town seems a little lighter. There's still that worry, that concern, but not an air of hopelessness that did, and suspicion that permeated the city when you first arrived. And eventually you come to this nice, lavish, this kind of, this building made of pale wood. It just says the Misty Shore Inn in very neat engraving over the door.
I assume this is the place. It looks quite nice.
Let's go in.
Here they've got good drink.
So, as you enter in, you're immediately hit with the scent of burning incense and perfumes. And within, it's very brightly lit. The people within are in a bit finer dress, probably merchants.
Meanwhile, we're covered in bloody bandages.
Yeah, there is a...
We never did wait for that cleric.
There is...
We got bandaged, but not healed.
There's a... It goes silent a little bit as you walk in, and then people kind of slowly resume what they were talking about. And as you enter, you are greeted pretty promptly by this young drow woman. Her hair is done up all neatly. She's wearing a very fine black shirt and black trousers. Good evening. How may I help you today? And she kind of awkwardly looks you up and down.
We were told you have very good drinks here.
Yes, we do. They are a bit on the more expensive side, but...
That's fine. Adelar told us of this place. Figured we'd check it out.
Oh. The mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. And I'm sure he... Of course. And you are here for the drink and the... extra private services as well?
Gonna look at you two.
Just
And
the
then,
drinks.
what is the private services? We both did.
I feel like Ghost would know. Just it's fine. We don't need them. A lot of hidden fees.
No, I'm actually curious. I want to know.
No.
What are the extra services?
God.
Are you asking the
I
waitress?
would know, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you would know.
I'm asking.
Yeah, I would know.
Oh no, I was asking the waitress.
Well,
Oh.
extra services is we send one of our lovely staff to keep you company through the night.
Oh, no thanks.
I told
I'll just
you.
take the drink. They're just dancing around the word. It's just a fancy place for a brothel, I guess.
You see, like, you see, she's just like, don't let the madame catch you saying that, otherwise you will be thrown out.
Duly noted. It's been a long day.
I can see that, yes. Let's get you those drinks. Table for 3?
Yes, please.
Okay, right this way, please. And she kind of leads you to a corner booth that's out of the
Told you
way.
You didn't want to know. I told you.
Yes, you were right.
Trust me next time, maybe.
I mean, now I know for sure, rather than
Hmm,
constantly thinking about it for the next 3 hours.
fair enough. But you still might think about it, but in a less curious light.
Man can do what he wants with his own thoughts.
Fair enough.
All right, and they hand you a menu of drinks. And is there so you're seeing a bunch of fancy drinks that you don't find. There's no like beer, ale, no, it's like a snow North Peak snowberry mead.
Yeah.
An uh an elkhorn ale. Then you're also seeing things that aren't even from Caranel. You're seeing things like Habdalian grape wine.
Mm.
There's one simply labeled or there's one that's labeled as Raptor's Eye wine, another import from Alishkar.
Ooh.
And another wine that is labeled as the Scarab from Dunathir.
Ooh, fancy.
Well, I mean, if we're going to be in a place like this, we have to try and import from a place we've never been to.
There's also the most expensive drink though is an import. It's gonna cost you 5 gold a bottle, and it is an import from Truslid called Stoutland Whiskey.
I want that one.
That sounds right up my alley.
I'll go for the Raptor's Eye.
Raptor's Eye is gonna run you 2 gold.
I'll share a bit of mine with you if you share a bit of yours with me.
I'm not a whiskey lady.
I won't backwash.
That's not what I was concerned about. The advantage of being in a wealthy household. I've tried it before.
Right.
Right. But I haven't tried yours, and I kind of want to. You know what? I'll take one of hers as well.
Right. So for you, a Raptor's Eye wine and a Stoutland whiskey. Stoutland whiskey for you, and a Raptor's Eye wine for you. Is that correct?
I'll take 2 of the whiskey.
2 whiskeys. That'll be all right. So 10 gold for you, 7 for you, and 2 for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that's a
One,
lot of
two,
whiskey, but
three.
I ordered 2 drinks too, so I can't say anything.
Well, for you it's a lot of drink. For him it's a lot of whiskey specifically.
So the Stoutland whiskey comes in a very fine glass bottle that's almost like this box, but as you look closer, the neck of it's in the shape of a hammer.
Oh, this is perfect.
Almost like Thor's Mjolnir from Avengers.
That's
Kind of in
awesome.
that shape with the cork at the pommel.
This
of
was
it.
made for me.
And the Raptor's Eye whiskey kind of comes in a slender, tall bottle, but the base of it is flared out at 4 different points, like Raptor's claws, and that's how it kind of keeps itself stable.
So fancy.
Your favorite. Yeah, immediately I want to try out this Stoutland. Just pop the cork and smell it first.
It smells.
Favorite.
It smells very strong, but you get a strong scent of a hickory and smoke.
Yum.
Ooh.
This is made for breakouts.
I'm gonna pour some into my tankard that I've always got with me and take a sip. And I want to ask the waitress, you got anything stronger than this?
Well, we don't have. We keep things on. This is more for connoisseurs, but the strongest one that we have is probably going to be. What was it called? Oh yeah, the Abdalian Black Tar. It's a gold bottle.
Oh, can I grab one of those too, please?
Of course.
Well, we know who's going to be carrying who at the end of tonight.
And she comes back with a bottle that it doesn't come with a cork that you like pop off. The head of the bottle actually looks like the skull of. Make a nature check for me.
Nine.
9? So you don't know the specific creature, but you do know that the Abdalian Federation in the jungles mostly, and sometimes they spread out to the other regions, but you can't place what specifically it is, but you do know that that place is infested with beasts that they call dinosaurs. And the head of the bottle seems to be replicated like in steel, the skull of one of said dinosaurs, and you pop the mouth open, pour it, and then you close the mouth to reseal it.
That's so
That's
cool.
awesome.
I love that.
And the rest of its skeleton seems to wrap around the or seems to go down one side of the bottle, and it kind of has these diamond-shaped spikes that come off of what would be the spine, and that kind of sticks out to make a handle for it.
Ooh, that's fancy.
So for player reference, it's a Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm a Stegosaurus.
Yeah. Outland whiskey.
And the liquid inside is very it's pitch
Ari.
black. It's pitch black. And it smells super strong, and it's got a very bitter, kind of earthy taste to it. And you can kind of gather this is probably mostly made with like roots and things like that, certain roots.
All right, we'll save that for the end.
Yeah, you're just gonna be with a bottle of the Mjolnir, holding it up and just taking swigs of it.
Ghost just sipping her wine.
Yep. And the wine is very citrusy, very, very tart at first, and then it turns sweet as you as it settles in your mouth.
Mm.
And it is made by Raptor's Eye fruit, as the bottle says, which is a kind of pale green citrus fruit that grows in the jungles of the Abdalian Federation.
I like that. Ghost likes it.
Is the bottle just normal, or is it like another fancy one?
Like I said, it's the one that has the raptor claws at the bottom. to
Oh,
keep
the
it
raptor
stable.
claws. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. This is some good medicine.
You guys are still kind of getting glances and everything as you're there. Kind
I
of
would have less
conversing.
glances though, right? Because I'm fancy.
Less, but you're still covered in your own blood and bandages.
Dang it!
Right.
But you still look
Wait a
fancy.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait, do I have it? I have it, don't I? I have prestidigitation. I'm going to make myself not bloody anymore.
All right.
Cleaning yourself up.
Yeah, I'm cleaning myself up.
Okay. So, as you nurse your wounds and drink in this eerily quiet establishment, that is where we are going to go to break. So, we will be back in about 15 minutes. So, players, be back at about 6:45, and we will pick up right there. So, we will see you all
Sounds good.
in just a
Sounds
bit.
good.
Okay, here we go. So, as you, we are back. So we'll just pick up right where. So, you guys finish drinking your expensive wines and whiskeys, leaving as much left over as you wish.
I got a 19 on the con save, so I'm not drunk, just tipsy.
Leftovers. You're
Yeah, what
funny.
leftovers?
I
We
already
spent-
added to my inventory empty bottles.
So, as you leave, the night streets are much more lively this time. People are actually out. Lights are illuminating most of the windows this time around. Well, there are still some people kind of standing guard over their homes. You are not greeted with a suspicious gaze. You are... They'll give you a friendly, nod and everything. As the killer has been identified. So most people... The word has spread like wildfire throughout the city. Most people aren't afraid of their neighbors anymore.
Emphasis on most.
I mean, yeah, there's always those people that are still out there.
Mm-hmm.
But
And then one or two who have just always been like that, no matter what the circumstances.
exactly. So as you're leaving the Misty Shore Inn, is there anywhere you'd like to go? Anything you'd like to do?
We should ask around for that Mr. Griggs
Mm.
before we leave the docks. Old man Griggs is what they said.
Definitely.
Sounds good. Let's go meet this Griggs.
Excuse me, talking to a random passerby.
Yeah?
Do you know someone by the last name Griggs? Or first name, I don't know.
Ugh. What did he do this time?
I just have some personal beef with him.
Yeah, you and half the people here by the docks. Look, if he owes
What
you
did he...
if he owes you money,
what-
you ain't getting it.
Well, what did he do to you?
Well, I had to call the guards on him for public indecency. He was drunk out of his mind. And
Oh.
stark naked.
Wow. Yes, like that... Yes, that's quite unseemly.
Sounds like a
Well-
notable fellow.
Where might we find him?
I know, he's on the south side of the docks, holed up in some old shack.
Sounds good. Well, thank you.
Well, you're trying to get money out of him, you ain't getting a copper, so good luck, I guess.
Noted.
Thank you. And I'll just start, walk in that direction.
Right. So as you're going, you definitely enter a kind of what looks... Your mind first goes to a slum. As seeing all these kind of scrap metal shacks. Scrap wood shacks and stuff. As you get close, you realize these are not homes. These are glorified broom closets. With, ship repair tools and just general dock maintenance stuff, cleaning supplies. But there is one where you can see from a window a faint candlelight coming from.
I think that is where we need to go. Regos is definitely like a little wobbly on his feet after drinking all that.
Careful, big guy. Just don't fall on me.
And don't push me in the water, please.
Oh. I won't.
I'll just kind of,
She'll
I'll lead the group.
Well, she's just gonna go up and knock. She's
No.
not drunk or tipsy. It's just one glass of wine.
As you knock, you just hear a, "Who's there?"
Should I just say the oddities or something cryptic like us?
Go with cryptic.
I'm talking to Belden. You're
Oh, the town saviors.
So I just
I'll just blurt out, "It's the town saviors here. We're looking for Mr. Griggs."
that's worse. I should have just said the oddities.
Oh, the town saviors. I don't even know what that means. Go away.
We're looking to see a man about a boat. A ship. Specifically want to drive one.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
It comes with coin.
Oh geez, 17.
With coin.
I'll just
Mhm.
nudge Rakos. That's coming out of your purse, buddy.
Don't worry, we discussed this already before you came along.
And goes, and the door opens. And you see this this old human man. Kind of dark, slightly tan skin with very leathery, weathered features. Kind of a squint, an unkempt beard that goes down to about his collarbone. And this just mess of curly gray hair goes down as he's just squinting. All right, then. What is it you want, town saviors?
We just want someone to steer a ship from one point to another. Simple. Like down river.
Ship, you just need someone to steer a ship. What's the catch?
The catch is we might be chased by people. And by might, I mean we definitely will be.
So a fast ship, preferably.
The ship is not currently ours, and discrepancy or discreetness is required.
You better really be sweetening the pot before I slam this door in your face.
100 gold.
Ha!
Wow.
I mean, I'm just like wide-eyed looking at Ricos.
That's a lot of money.
Probably not for something like this. It's high stakes.
Do you see who this bloody dock belongs to?
No.
The one thing I learned, you don't fuck with the Crimson Crown.
Ah. You know about it then.
They own this whole dock. All the other boats are here on their permission. So you steal anything from this dock, you steal from them. They'd have bought the whole city out, they could. Bastards. And he's yelling this through the door that is basically just, it's got plenty of holes in it.
I'm considering
Say,
playing my cards.
I wouldn't say stealing, just
It's not
renting
stealing.
services.
It's not stealing if it's from family.
Excuse me?
I want to take his ship
He
for a
opens
little joyride.
he opens the thing. What did you mean, family?
She'll just kind of lean forward. You heard of the fire, right?
Make a perception check for me.
Ooh, okay. Perception, not insight. Okay. This is gonna be terrible. Oh, 17.
You notice the light of the candle flame has moved. Almost like he's holding the candle out of sight behind the door.
Oh.
With a 17, I would say you smell gunpowder.
Ooh. Oh dear, oh dear. Listen. I don't want to mess with you. I only want to mess with him.
She'll be sending you to hell for just what you are.
So you're affiliated with him.
You could say that.
Willingly.
There's a reason I live in this shack. It's not 'cause I want to live here. It's 'cause the last place they bloody check is right under their noses.
What I want to do is take him down. I need allies. And I'm sure you want him gone as well.
Why should I take your word for it?
She'll just take one glove off, take the others, roll up her sleeves, and show him her prosthetics. I'm the one that burned the building down.
He brings the candle out from behind. You get off easy.
It's much appreciated.
Alright then. Theoretically, let's say I help you out. Put a dent in their profits. Easy peasy. One of the richest men on the face of Auroran has a bit of a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
So what? He could buy a dozen more of those boats.
Mm.
What's on
This
the boat?
one is weapons.
If you are who you say you are, you know it's not as simple as that. It's not just weapons. We're not talking swords and halberds here.
Hmm. But I'm glad you expanded. Now I know how deep you really are.
I don't think you quite understand my relationship here.
I could if you'd let me.
What did they tell you about me?
God. What do I know about him?
You remember hearing he was part of the Navy that helped on Lake Aegisar, help fight the armies of
Crimson Crown.
of
Crimson
Dragonoid.
Bloods.
Yeah, the Crimson Bloods help fighting against the army of the Dragonoid people that were coming in. And you heard that he was dishonorably discharged for cowardice and desertion.
I have heard about you. What they told me does not matter. I want to hear it from you.
Come inside.
Just
It's
carefully
yeah.
guiding it goes in.
Yeah, Ragos knows to keep his mouth shut right now.
It's a bit cramped in there. But he just kind of sits in the box. There's no floor. It's just the gravel ground. He just sits on the box. I'll remember it. Cannon fire. Those things descending from the sky. These half-dragon monsters. Fire, lightning, ice, everything. And then I saw it. My job was cannon maintenance. I know those things in and out. So when the enemy ship fired on us with exact copies of our own weapons, when we boarded, I could see we had the same firepower. Nobody else could see what I see. And I knew who's our recent biggest supplier out of the kindness of their heart and a very profitable military contract. And I had the bright idea to open my mouth about it. Next thing you know, I'm on the street. My son, his wife, his granddaughter, wasn't much left to recover after that.
My condolences.
Sorry for your loss.
So I know the consequences of doing things like this.
Do you also know the reward?
It's bloody untouchable. Stealing one boat ain't gonna do anything.
But as a
It will be
start,
it's the first piece.
Make a persuasion check.
21.
It's gonna cost a hell of a lot more than 100 gold.
I understand that. But we need you.
I need to know where we're going.
Elkwood.
And what precautions are we taking?
If we can't get it there, we sink it.
I have conditions.
Let's hear them.
There's an executive that'll be paying the dock, the warehouse, a bit of a visit Relit Mishan. I want him. You bring him along on the boat, you got a deal. He's not there, won't so much as raise an anchor.
What does he look like?
Dwarf man. Keeps his head shaved, but tattooed.
Do you know what the tattoo is?
It's of an anchor.
Fitting.
This a friend of yours, or is he insurance?
Or revenge?
He's my payment.
You have a deal.
And we will have another with us as well. One that we are hired to recover. Currently being held by the crown.
Not my concern. You just get roulette on the ship. We set sail. Whatever else goes down is your business.
Understood. Thank you.
And we plan on acting within the next couple of days. But we'll need to do some observation before we move forward. But we'll keep you in the loop.
I ain't going anywhere. And I'll take that 100 gold as well.
Of course. Consider it a thank you.
Gratitude don't mean shit.
But it's offered nonetheless.
Right. Anything else you need?
I think that's it.
And kindly piss off.
Right, Ruckus, let's go. Careful. There's the door frame there. Yuck.
And he closes the door quietly behind you as you leave. Puts out the
Is
candle.
Is there anyone watching us leave the shack, or is it pretty abandoned right here?
Make a perception check.
Oof, 10.
Yeah, nothing that you're aware of. Seems pretty clear.
Cool.
Let's go. We should get some rest.
Agreed.
We get to stay in that fancy house of yours again.
Absolutely.
That one is quite the character, don't you think?
That was a
Saviors
little
of the
bit.
town. Saviors of the town. That was so subtle, Belden.
Yeah, that did turn a bit more serious than I anticipated.
That's all
I
it
miss having new
is.
people around.
You'll find that the Crimson Crown is nothing but serious.
Saviors.
Let's get you to bed.
Okay.
None of you were saying anything.
No, I thought it was great.
I was asking, I gave you two options and you chose one that I didn't say. That was on you.
I didn't want the alcohol to speak for me, so I tried to be a little bit more quiet. The few times I did speak, he slammed the door in our face, so...
Mm-hmm.
I think that one was on Ghost. Very well done. Have you heard of this dwarf man before?
Hmm.
Do you know him personally?
Player moment. I thought you meant the one we just talked to. But do I know the other guy with the tattoos? He sounded familiar to me.
You would have just known him back in the day. He was just one of the. You probably never
Met him personally.
never met him personally, but
I
during
didn't
your
think so.
parents' business meetings, he was kind of like a lower member of a board of directors meetings and stuff. So he's technically one of the
Benefactors.
one of the benefactors, one of the financial officers of the company.
I don't know him personally, but he's on the lower high end of the scale. He's one of the financial officers that my parents affiliated with.
I have a feeling trying to kidnap one of these officers will may draw more attention than stealing a simple ship.
What part of I come at a higher price than 100 gold did you not understand?
I mean, if we're gonna be in there anyways,
Yeah, it's unavoidable.
because we're not just stealing the ship, or he kind of looks around. We're not just getting the ship, but we also need to find our gnome friend.
Mm-hmm.
Argoth Hemist.
Mm-hmm. Either way, we need that man, or we don't have a way to transport the ship.
Oh, I understand all that. It was just my thoughts of being subtle about it may prove quite a bit more difficult. Stealing somebody of that import.
I'm
Actually,
afraid I'm not the
quite
most
easy.
subtle.
It's actually quite easy if you do it correctly.
Plus, with Ivor, the little fellow can turn invisible, and Ghost can see through his eyes.
Is he here right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right here, and he's just been kind of hovering above, almost like a vulture. He kind of flitters down.
Probably
It's
in his
like-
raven form. Yeah.
Yeah, it flitters down. He's like, I mean, as long as you don't leave any witnesses, shouldn't be too hard
Exactly.
to remain subtle.
As my friend Tanarok so rudely stole from me, no one can see you if there's no one left to see you.
Wise words.
There's a
I came up with that. Don't let Tanarok tell you otherwise.
And as a former member of the Death Toll, I'm very experienced in dealing with wealth. Dealing with people of high standing, especially involving my blood. So, it shouldn't be too difficult if we play our cards right. But for now, we rest. We can't think up any plans with all of our wits about us.
Yeah, just as you say that, Reiko slips on some snow. Whoa. Good point.
Just the Doctor Strange slip. Just
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, you return to the manor and are all able to get a nice sleep with the cleaning and the bandages and everything, and just the comfort of everything around you. You are in a well put thing for the supernatural healing abilities of sleep, the divine healing abilities of sleep to take their effect, and you can all take a long rest.
Yay!
Wonderful.
As
I would not.
long resting comes from the goddess Luliaris.
Yes. Thank you, goddess.
Problem is, it's a universal thing. She can't pick and choose who she gives it to.
Still thank you.
So long rest also works for, the aboleths and trolls of the world.
Still thank you.
So, the sun rises over a scarred but healing Eritrude. As you awake, the energy seems to be much more vibrant.
What happens when you have saviors of the city?
I'm going to call the episode of that Saviors of Eritrude.
Saviors of the town.
Saviors of the town.
Saviors of the city.
Question. As we're getting up, would you allow, unless you want me to do it during a combat or turn-based scenario, but could I attune myself to this new armor during this long rest?
Oh yeah, easily, yeah. You can attune yourself to the new armor, and since you took a rest, you can change it to your arcane armor as well.
Alright, wonderful.
So you basically take out the mechanical parts and enchanted parts of your old suit of armor and kind of stitch it and fuse it into the splint mail.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Lovely.
Okay.
All right. Reiko's definitely sleeps in.
Yeah. For Ghost, it's
We all
normal.
sleep in,
For
Not
Ghost,
me, I'm,
she's not sleeping in.
yeah.
per
Yeah,
se.
I'm just gonna, work on, making sure this armor fits nice and snug and is enchanted properly.
Probably wake up to you doing that. King, 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 king. Little ratchet noises and all that.
Nice.
Hey, Suit, could you get Oh, right.
Beard.
Hey, Ghost, can you make Suit make some food?
It's Beard.
I thought it was Suit.
No, it's Suit. Yeah, Suit the bearded devil.
It's Suit.
Yeah,
It is
Suit.
Suit?
Yeah, Suit the bearded devil.
See, last episode I was like, no, it's Suit, and this time I'm
Yep.
like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
Beard.
Beard.
So confusing. I gotta write it down. Oh, it's Suit. Could you get us some breakfast, please?
At your request.
Thank you. What's the game plan?
First, I think we should probably go try and collect on those other jobs.
Right.
How far did you say you could see with Ivor?
I've gotta look because I don't know. Where is it? Patron, vacations, NAR. I don't see anything yet.
It's on. It's
clear.
It's under the Find Familiar spell.
Oh, okay, okay. Spell. Find familiar. Aha. Ooh. There's a lot of words. It says 100 feet with telepathic communication.
Be able to
Yep.
speak to it.
Additionally, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn. Yeah.
And you use your action to maintain that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, isn't seeing through it different
Yep.
than
Seeing through it,
telepathic?
you
so
can just
I can
do
see
it.
through it. Just do it anywhere.
Yep.
Like,
You just won't be able to communicate with it.
there's no limit. I can just only communicate with him once he's within 100 feet of me. That's why he was able to do the recon on Alexander.
So if you give him specific instructions to snoop around and get out.
Exactly. And if push comes to shove, I can always just... She just, like, holds up her snake scepter. I mean, it's not discreet, but...
I wouldn't want to get into a pushing match with you.
Question. I guess we'll just have to find out the best line of action after we figure out where he is, who he's with.
Do we even know where their facilities are?
No, but he's going to be coming to the docks today. We just need to know where specifically at the docks.
Right, but we need to know where they're keeping Argoth.
Ah. That's another part of the plan. There's a lot of small pieces we need to figure out.
I mean, they own the docks, that's for sure, but... So it'd be good to have Ivor snoop around the docks, but also good to find a base of headquarters. If it's close to the docks, I say we search there first, but if it's not there, we need to find out where it is.
What we could do is snag this guy and question him about your friend Argosh.
That is one option. I just think the longer we hold on to him, the more likely we are to get caught. But I think that's definitely a good option.
We should definitely collect the bounties first. Not bounties, rewards.
I agree. Well, Suit, thank you for breakfast. It was delicious.
He just gives you a blank stare.
It was divine as always, Sweet. Thank you.
He nods and leaves the room.
Let's go. One step at a time.
Let us go then.
We go.
Okay.
Can you say the map?
No, duh.
So, as you leave to start heading once more to the east side of the city, to begin your recon on the warehouse and the docks owned by the Crimson Crown. On the opposite side of the city, unbeknownst to our heroes, within the warehouse stands a box. And within the box, settle. And that is where we are going to end it today.
What's that? What's in that box? Anxiety? Oh, you shouldn't have.
I'm pretty sure it's a crocodile.
Thank you to everybody
Briggs
who
is
tuned
Captain
in.
Hook.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in for this episode, and thank you for the also for the massive amount of support our previous Paragon episode got once it hit YouTube. So thank you to everybody who contributed to that as well. We are so happy to see this channel grow, and we'd love to be able to do more things with it. Me and Andrew will and everybody's contributing, but we've got some massive projects in the works, as well as smaller, more quick to get completed projects. But we will share them with you as they become relevant. But we would love to be able to do this stuff, full time if we could. Which, if you want to help us achieve that goal, you can go ahead and support us on our Patreon. And we got 3 tiers of patrons. You get benefits at each tier. The lowest tier, you're in the credits. Second tier, names get read aloud. But if you were on the highest tier, Paragon tier, you get this. And let me roll a D4. Ghost, could you thank our lovely patrons, please?
This again. Oh yes. Oh, it seems we have someone new. We have D-Fourtress as always, and a new member of our team. Brennan, thank you so much. I hope you are not caught in the crossfire. Rikos, what are you doing? No.
So,
Don't touch the fine
thank you
china.
Yep.
I thought it was a frisbee.
Yeah, big shout out to those people, and obviously if we fingers crossed get a huge amount of people, we'll have to tweak how it works as it becomes impossible to read off all the names, but we'll figure it out when we cross that
we'll
bridge.
we'll
40-minute
those
credits.
ads. Yeah,
Oh
we'll
my
do it like the
gosh.
ads. Just record it all and then speed it up.
Yeah, the disclaimer.
Yeah.
No, we get that guy, the fastest talker, get an auctioneer to do it. But yeah, I have a ton of fun DMing these. I hope my players have a ton of fun playing them. And
The
Bentley,
Saviors had a great time.
yeah, Bentley, I hope you've been having
I love that.
a fun first D&D 5e experience as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so you get a bunch of cool benefits on the Patreon, and one thing that somebody pointed out to me, I keep telling people you get cool Discord access to exclusive channels. I don't think we've been including the link to our Discord in the YouTube descriptions like total dinguses. So, Andrew, when we upload this one, let's make sure that's in there. Let's quintuple check and make sure that's on there, because
I'll even check.
neither of us have been putting them on as far as I can tell.
Oh
Yeah, it's not there currently.
No
Yep.
wonder why there was no.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, I was wondering, just like, man, is there like a new thing replacing Discord right now? But nope. All right. And yeah, but I think that's everything. Oh, one final thing. Huge shout out to Tabletop Audio for being so generous and allowing us to use his background music for our stream. I personally support him on Patreon, so if you want to get access to, you can have access to all the Tabletop music yourself for free by just going to tabletopaudio.com. However, if you support him on Patreon, you get a bunch of cool things that I have access to. I just haven't figured out a efficient way to include them on stream. But you can get access to all the different versions of the of the music. So let's say let me just click on a random one right here. Let's click on let's click on Stagecoach Heist. So you can get Stagecoach Heist like this and listen to it on the website, or you can go and get it where it's just the music or just the ambiance, and have the different copies, the different versions of each, and for a fully customizable
You can also
thing.
download them, can't you?
If you're a patron, which yeah. And disclaimer: this is not a paid sponsor. I'm actually paying him. I support him on Patreon. I just think this person deserves way more recognition than he gets. He's insanely talented and deserves all the support that he could possibly get. So, DMs out there, you know where to look. Okay. I think that covers everything of my big old checklist of post story things to do.
Check out the merch shop. That's
Yep.
the other thing.
Check out the merch shop. But once again, thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to everybody for for any support in any way, shape, or form, whether it's views, leaving a comment, liking, subscribing, literally anything to help us fight the dreaded nemesis of the algorithm. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you, and good night. Bye-bye.